Hello everyone. Today I decided to take my Triumph Thruxton R out to run some gas through it. I don't ride it very often. I don't ride it enough. But it definitely needs to be ridden. And I don't want to leave gas in it so it goes bad. So I'm trying to keep the fuel tank low, to put it that way. And I only top it up with enough gas for the particular trip I have planned for the day. But I love this motorcycle. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is so beautiful to look at. And everyone knows probably by now that Triumph has now discontinued the entire Thruxton line. This is the last year, and they have a 2024 commemorative Triumph Thruxton. And it's in this beautiful green color. This is when, my bike is when Triumph first came out with the 1200s. Mine's a 2017. I believe it came out in 2016. But I love it. I have mine in silver ice, which is that beautiful silver color. And they only made that until 2017. But then they came out with the Thruxton RS, okay? And they made some changes to it, not very much. What they did do is they blacked out the engine covers. As you can see right there on mine is that nice, classic British-looking brushed aluminum. And I have the polished aluminum rims, okay? Those are polished aluminum. The RS started putting black rims on the bike, and they started putting black side covers on the engines, mainly because a big problem with this bike is corrosion if you ride it in wet weather. It's not a wet weather bike. That aluminum, according to a bunch of folk over in the UK, was turning black and corroded, and it looked really like crap. But I don't ride this bike in the rain. I prefer the polished look myself, all right? That's the way the bike was supposed to look back around 1968, 69, 70s, early 70s. But that's the way the bike looked, okay? Everybody had a silver side case, but there was no end to the maintenance and polishing and trying to keep it looking pretty back in the day. But this is definitely a bike that's high up on my favorite bikes of all time list. This bike rips, all right? It's not a rever. It's not like my Speed Triple Double R with killer horsepower and unbelievable top speed. This bike just has monster torque, all right? The torque just comes on from 2,500 RPM all the way up to the red line, and it's gut-wrenching torque. I mean, you have instant throttle at any RPM, period. But this is a classic motorcycle, and it's just almost too beautiful to ride. It almost belongs in a museum.
Yeah, the Triumph Thruxton R, Triumph pretty much knocked it out of the park when it came to detailing everything on this bike. One of my favorite parts is this beautiful polished yoke. And it's been stated before, it almost belongs in a museum or an art gallery. I love the clocks, as they call them in the UK, or the gauges, as we say here in the US. But I love the bar end mirrors. I love the silver gas tank. So I have a perfect view when I'm riding. But we're just going to make our way back home, and I'll catch you on some points in the ride. One problem I have when I ride this bike from getting off my Triumph 1200 Speed Triple RR or my Triumph Tiger 1200 GT Explorer, this does not have a quick shifter, and I'm so used to the quick shifter. So every now and then I get a brain fart going on, and I try to shift this thing without the clutch. Needless to say, it's worked a few times, but I'm like, you idiot. Yeah, they just did a nice job repaving this road. This is Route 64, and it takes you into Middlebury. The one thing beautiful about riding the Thruxton is you can ride it pretty much as gentle and docile as you want, and you can just loaf it along. The engine is good at any speed. It's your typical British twin-cylinder engine. But it's absolutely wonderful. I love the way it purrs. I'm doing 5,500 RPM. Just to keep it up in the RPM range. But the bike has plenty of passing power. Like I said before, the torque of this bike, it just almost wants to rip your arms off. It's a beautiful feeling. I love that deep and throaty exhaust sound this thing makes. First thing I did when I bought the bike is I bought the fairing and put it on, and I put the Vance & Hines exhaust silencers on. And with the Vance & Hines you can take the dB killers out, and it gives it a much nicer sound. Off we go. Yeah, this is some beautiful property here. But here is the vineyard on my left. And you have some real hoity-toity homes here. There's one right there with the twin turrets in the front and everything. But these little backcountry roads get me away from traffic, which I hate. But look at these walls, they're everywhere. It's gorgeous. It's almost like you're in a different country. Off we go. Very, very scenic. gotta go real slow through this area because it's very residential. And 3 times 2 weeks ago, there was a giant black bear that walked out from a swampy area down here right in front of my Jeep. I had to stop and wait for it to walk across the road. On a hot summer day, there's some nice shade around these areas. But I love these little twisty back roads. You gotta keep the speed down. Got to make sure cars are on the right side of the road too. That's going to be it for this video. Just a quick video riding the Thruxton R.